Book of Poultry. These are the foods that the Tang family specially prepared for me. You're rude, aren't you? Well, during the day, I really did have the face to lose it to Qingming again. Even his share was also eaten up by Qingming. And yet this scene, the guy who delivered the food was happy to see it. He was confident that no one would be able to discover the poison of the Tang family's chains. Just mix these two spices. It's no joke. It was noon fast. Tang Higanzi and Huashan Xinlong competed. It has already attracted the attention of many people in the Tang family. As for the previous head of the family and clearance competition, rumors of falling into the downwind maybe is too appalling. None of those present wanted to believe it, but that's exactly what it is. Now Tang He's heart is already nervous and can't help himself. Good grandson, you don't have to be nervous. As long as this goes well, the position of the head of the Shao family belongs to you, and the position of the future head of the house. Nature will be yours too. However, Tang He understood very well. But his opponent was the world's #1 rising star. Although he has never slackened his cultivation on weekdays. But he knew that his odds were too small. It's really unproductive. How can you be afraid of a child who is 10 years younger than you? Rest assured, I'm not going to put my only grandson to death. Later, Huashan Xinlong will be like a deflated ball. I can't use it. You just have to hurry up and take him down in one fell swoop. And you must not let him live. Otherwise, this contest will definitely be overturned by the head of the family. Hear this. Tang He already understood what his grandfather had done. Don't worry. I'll shut him up forever. That's right, they gave Qingming what they took. It is a kind of parasol called 1,000 days. Once both enter the abdomen at the same time, the poisoned person will be like drunk. Not only unconscious, the internal force will not be able to be used for a while and a half. That kid is no matter how good he is. It can't be done now either. The opponent to the crane. And although the head of the family supports Huashan Xinlong, he sat next to the Huashan faction in a grand manner. Does it sound like words? That's all. I must not put the future of the Tang family. Give it to this kind of guy. Okay, Tang He. We can't lose to him in terms of momentum. Let's go on stage first. In this way, Tang He admonished himself. Don't be afraid. Just pass today's hurdle. The position of the young head of the family is in his pocket. The incarnation of the dragon comes out. I'm going to let you know today. My Tang family secret skills are powerful. It's about facing the noise on and off the stage. Qing Ling hooked his finger instead. No one heard what they were saying. Soon, several people's eyes were focused back on the stage again. The Huashan Xinlong came up. What is the Huashan Xinlong? It's really impressive. But is Huashan Xinlong a woman? It was obvious that Tang He had heard of it. He's pretty sure the person in front of him was definitely not the rumored Huashan divine dragon. I am the snow of Huashan Mountain. Hearing this, the Tang crane people were numb. Huashan Xinlong. As agreed, you're probably the one who's competing with me. Just in the face of the man's roar. Qingming seems to be very indifferent. That's the way it is anyway. Fight it. I can't help it. Eat too much in the morning. A little indigestion. Should it be said or not? The food cooked by your Tang family is so delicious. Hearing this, Tang He became more and more annoyed. Could it be that Huashan Xinlong is so shameless? Interesting. Who are the shameless people? But which onion are you? I'm the dragon of Huashan. If it were replaced by you, to compare it to a family with a horn, would you gladly accept it like that? I didn't want to bet on my name. What do you think? I'll be with one. The little-known junior competition. You want to use me to make a name for yourself. At the very least, Li Wan must be qualified to challenge me. But don't worry. I'm a big man. As long as you could beat my aunt, I will answer your contempt. No, that's still too much trouble. As long as you can win me, Chengdu will treat me as if I lost to you. How is it obvious? Qingming hurts. Blow one's own trumpet. Tang He's mentality has cracked. You're making me Tang now. Did the son of the Tang family fight with this girl? Well, it is useless to speak. But Lu Medicine's eyes were in his eyes at this time. It's already crawling with frost. Obviously, Tang He's words were still echoing in the air. But Aunt Lu's sword had already cut through the distance between the two. Is it all the nonsense? Let's get started. Wanna know? Is this a question of the times? The woman fell from the ground. The injustice and embarrassment of fate. It makes him look delicate. At the same time, there is no room for the slightest advance and retreat. Obviously, he was born in the Tang family of the 5 major families in the Central Plains. It's still the head of family poisonous girl. It stands to reason that he owns most of the women in the world. A happy life that you can't have. But it is precisely because of Tang Xiaoxiao's identity. Someday, it will become a victim of consolidating the interests of the family. Even if Tang Xuanyue is the head of the family, he was very fond of him. But the girl understood. Family prosperity is the first thing in my father's heart. That's just at the time. Another person appeared. Lu Yixue also had the experience of being bound by fate. Ling's man is not visible on weekdays. There are even some indifferent aunts, rarely said to a girl who only has a few faces. I'll help you find the way that doesn't exist. Time comes back to the present. Facing Tang, he's clamor for Qingming, those who participate in the competition. But it's not the Huashan Shenlong they talk about. And what Tang he didn't expect was even more unexpected. Lu Yixue's sword. It was so fast that it was hard for him to see it. As the leader of the younger generation of the Tang family. But what is it? The head of the house. Do you agree to this? Look at Tang Xuanyue again. He also didn't understand what medicine was being sold in the Qingming gourd. But one thing is clear to him. This guy is not one to fight a battle that is sure to be lost. It doesn't matter if you win. The position of the head of the Shao family is still yours. After this, Tang he only felt a sense of anger that he was despised. From the bottom of my heart, I rushed out. He turned his head to look at his grandfather as an idiot. In front of so many people. You want everyone to know. Am I the person behind you? Only a fool would not have guessed that. But there is a world of difference between speculation and certainty. Recently got a new computer. The display is just fast. After everyone renewed, what did it do with the old ones? Like me, every time you replace the old notebook phone watch, it will be called to turn around and recycle for free. The price is satisfactory and the money is played on spot. My MacBook Pro also sold over 4,700. Lying at home, I sold my computer, particularly worry-free. If you want me to say that it is worth it while the old machine is still valuable, hurry up and call the door to recycle. Then again, how could Huashan Shenlong really eat by himself? Stomach upset. Could it be that he sensed the toxicity of the 1,000 days? No, it can't be. He should have just instinctively felt that his body was beneficial. Maybe send a woman on the field. For him, it's the most decent calligraphy. It's a shame that we can't let this guy die here. But wanted his life. There are many ways. Now that the head of the family has also made a commitment, the Viking plan is to get the benefits first. Thinking of this, Tang Wei couldn't help but move his mouth. Seeing that my grandfather let himself do it, Tang finally had something in his heart. The woman of Huashan. Be careful. I'm going to use poison in this competition. So you don't want to walk off the stage alive. The children of the Tang family under the stage have long been boiling. In the midst of this, excluding Tang Xiaoxiao, Lu Yixue, what exactly does he want to do? No, I have to stop this fight. Come to think of this, Tang Xiaoxiao's body couldn't help but rush forward. But at this time, Tang Zhan stopped him. Sister, if you interfere in this matter, it will only make this contest child's play. I believe he was not acting recklessly. You know he's a dancer. Naturally, the danger is well understood. So sister, don't insult that girl. Okay, from the moment he stood up, there is no longer a distinction between men and women on the field. All that's left is a contest between the dancers. And we as outsiders. No interference. At this moment, Tang Xiaoxiao seemed to finally have some enlightenment. What Lu Yixue said to herself. What exactly does that mean? The girl's thoughts did not affect the fight in the ring. Tang, his secret weapon. Soon it shot towards Lu Yixue. But what he didn't know was, Aunt Lu is already talented. With Tang, his current secret weapon Kung Fu, it's hard to break through his fast sword. Seeing the dagger, he can skillfully change the trajectory, and even make it attack itself in reverse. Only then did Tang understand. The woman in front of her doesn't seem to be simple. Both the response and judgment are very accurate. Although I don't want to admit it. But you're better than I expected. If you're not a woman, maybe you can beat me. However, Tang's words were not finished. Lu Yixue suddenly spoke. None of that matters. At this moment, the important thing is that you fall into the disadvantage. In a word, it is serious. Tang became more and more furious. The figure soon approached Aunt Lu. It's just that, just as he was about to step into the range of the sword attack, Tang's body shape changed again. I don't know when a dense silver light flew out of the sleeve robe. But this scene, most of the people in the audience only heard it. Soon, Louis also felt strange. That's when the problem was discovered. Lu Yixue immediately turned a long sword into one. Protect the body at the same time as the wind bounces the hidden weapon. The audience also fell in chaos for a while. Tang Chong quickly reacted. Tang used a cow hair needle. And this needle is above. It seems to be a bloody action in the stands. Flawless. This also made Tang, his chest more and more breathless. This woman is so arrogant. It's a man's heart. Take advantage of the gap between Lu Medicine's defense of the hidden weapon. The internal force is instantly condemned. I wonder if you can take this off as well. With the sound of shame breaking through the air, Aunt Lu's figure staggered suddenly. Suddenly the light is clear and small. I couldn't help but chuckle in my heart. They all found the needle dangerous. Sure enough, when a senior aunt pulled out the fine needle, I found that the poison had entered my body. There are so many hidden weapons. But if you miss one, this is the end of the contest. Once my poison is attacked, your left hand will be unconscious immediately. So, when I was still polite to you, you should understand how terrible Tang Jia is. If you beg for mercy now, maybe I can spare your life. I don't think you're stupid enough yet. I guess I can't notice the condition of my body. It's you who are stupid. You think before the poison spreads. Can you still stand here properly? The moment the rain ended, Lu Shi's figure moved suddenly. But this scene, how could Tang he not have thought of it? The only way to win in front of the enemy's eyes. There is only a breakthrough forward, but he had already prepared a plan to break the soul sand. Although Xiao has never practiced the secret methods of the Tang family, but he is also well aware. It was a kind of dust that was refined from venom. Not only can it block the enemy's view, the longer it drags on, the poison in the enemy's body will go deeper. Look at Aunt Lu again. Indeed, it is difficult for him to see the way forward in the dust. But I'm not going to back down. Father, look at it. Cher's plum blossoms can also bloom. Suddenly, pieces of plum blossoms seemed to be pulled by a strong wind. Originally surrounded Lu Ishua's poisoning. At the moment when the petals appear, actually wrapped Tang he in reverse. In order not to be blinded by his own tricks, the man jumped up decisively. It was only when he pulled out the hidden weapon again. Where can you still see Lu Ishua's figure in the ring? In midair, the man was in a hurry, but you can't see each other from every corner. Such a short period of time. He just stayed in Tang he for a short while. The position under which he was standing. Lu Ishua has already put on posture. At this moment, plum blossoms are drifting, getting denser. 7 swords with a cold light in the eyes of the orphan. It appears to be more than daytime or subsessions. More showy, a sword swinged. The plum blossoms in the sky all flocked to Tang he. And that's not all. He saw him with a sword in his hands, accompanied by the fluttering plum blossom petals. The bloody figure also rushed towards Tang he. Next second, Tang he only felt that the original long sword body was small. In his eyes, it's already huge. 7 eyebrows, sword plum blossom flow. This scene is whether it is Tang Wei or Tang Chunyue. I saw it all for real. Lulixu did not kill her. That's it. For the people of Huashan, it's enough of a beautiful plum blossom. But the soul doesn't know. Same thoughts. Tang Xiaoxiao's feelings became more and more real. That's how everyone's eyes and thoughts were. With Tang he plopping down to the ground. Also back in the ring. It was obvious that Tang he was defeated. There is no suspense. But he didn't understand. Why is it clear that the poison has spread? Phone, you're crazy. I said you're too weak. Flowers and plants in conservatory. Someone who hasn't really fought. There is no qualification to judge the strength or weakness of others. Hear this, Tang, he just wants to fight with this arrogant woman now. But it's clear. Aunt Lu's sword had already struck his head. Look up. Tang he found out at this time. Where is this woman? Definitely a devil. Well, this scene is a little over. Qingming's forte. Ling couldn't help but hold his head during the day. It's a memory that I can't forget. In this way, Tang he's head became a lump. Look at Aunt Lu again. Skimming at something that talked a lot. At this point, I finally felt clean. Head of the Tang family, please give me the detoxification pill. Hear this. Tang Xuanye remembered that the little girl was still poisoned. Get the antidote. Qingming jumped out at this time. My aunt came here. Obviously, Qingming also talks a lot. But he is different for Lu Yishue. If you are poisoned, it is better to treat it quickly. If it's casual, it's going to be hard. Senior brother Zhaojia, you come to protect my aunt. Let's talk about Uncle Shi. Lend me your sword. Right. During the day, I always subconsciously forget the clear temper. Of course, this is to give them a gift. And here it is precise. It is handed over by the hand of Qingming. In this way, Qingming slowly walked to the ring. Pull out the futon that padded your stomach. At this moment, no one could see the boy's demeanor clearly. Are you ready? The rattan of the ancestors always hurts a little. That's a lump on stage. It's carried down as much as possible by the disciples of the Tang family. It's just that the appearance is really embarrassing. Obviously, Xiao was also shocked beyond words. That Tang he didn't just lose. Even the opponent is not Huashan Shenlong. It's just a female disciple who is traveling with her. There was silence for a long time. He also noticed something unusual. Obviously, he has already won competition. But why is that guy still on stage? In this scene, he was also noticed by a group of Tang family disciples. Gradually, the huge martial arts arena. It seems that something has choked the stalk. There was still a noise. Completely disappeared clean. At this point, Qingming breathed a sigh of relief. To be honest, I don't understand what the Tang family is doing. Previously, I am looking forward to the famous Tang family. But now it's really disappointing. The Tang family disciples in the audience were stunned. Normally, shouldn't the victor show his strength? Even Tang Wei had a touch of anger in his eyes. There is only Tang Chunyue. I couldn't see what he was thinking at this time, but soon the whole tournament was on the field. The boiling point was ignited by the words cleared. Are you humiliating us? Just because I won once. You're going crazy, aren't you? Stop you, don't be annoyed. If you're me, I'm sure you'll feel the same way. You see him before the joust. None of them tried to understand the strength of their opponents first. That's the basics. Your Tang family shouldn't have this awareness. No, he lost to the rest of my travelers. Other words, from the beginning, he didn't beat me. Probably nevertheless. The Tang family still promoted this kind of competition. Pluck, to be ashamed of coming to me blatantly. Despise opponents. Overestimate yourself. This is a man who runs the sect. Never do it. That's why I wanted to ask. Who exactly asked for such a ridiculous contest? Aftermath. Everyone's eyes are also, because of the former Tang, he celebrity. The focus was on Grand Elder Tang Wei. Hell, the situation gets tricky. I didn't know it for a long time. Sun Tzu will not be the opponent of Huashan Shenlong. That's why I chose to poison him. I didn't expect things to turn out the way they are now. And in front of everyone. That guy just wanted me to take down the pot in public. Let's choose to talk about it now. It's obvious. The side of the Tang family has already confessed Tang Wei. Even if he doesn't want to open his mouth anymore, Qingming won't sell him anything. It turned out that the person was Elder Ning. But it's weird. I heard that the Tang family's elder's house is for the head of the Tang family, a department that exists for planning. The head of the family, who clearly knows the strength of both sides, sat on our side. So do it. Does it mean that the House of Elders is fighting against its own head? Qingming's words ordered the great elder to sink any longer. But he wasn't finished. The House of Elders. Sounds like a drag, but only to give those through the years. Seniors who have accumulated experience. Help the head of the house. It's just a matter of predicting something you haven't seen before. You see, the current House of Elders. It's like, it is something that exists to pull the Tang family back. Speaking of this, Tang Wei had already burst into a rage. But this scene, Qingming felt innocent instead. You see, I'll just say this man is short-sighted. I don't know who is presumptuous. Such a stupid and authoritarian decision would be made. Isn't it because they're too weak? That's it. I also want to give advice to the head of the family. If it weren't for today's situation, your elder's house is pulling the Tang family's hind legs. Then the alliance plan of the Tang family master. I think I can push forward more and more quickly. And now, the humiliation. Instead, it became an old thing to listen to the House of Elders. The price paid, seeing that Tang Wei almost died of anger on the spot. Only then did the Tang family master slowly speak. Huashan Shenlong, be careful when you speak. That person is the great elder of our Tang family. Oh, the head of the family. You're so kind-hearted, dragging such a heavy burden. But they also have to take into account the etiquette of the elders. Enough is enough. Do you think I'm going to put up with you all the time? I really don't have any eyesight. I just want you to put up with it now. I can't see it. Please prove it to me. Do you really deserve the name of the elder? Hearing this, Tang Wei finally noticed that something was wrong. It seems like all things. It's all under the control of this kid. Just didn't wait for him to think it through. Qingming is already there. Go on, you just said you were tolerating my presumptuousness. But this should be said by the strong to the weak. Then now please prove it to me. You are indeed a strong man. As long as you can win me, Dean. Then you're right, Dean. Otherwise, your eyes are really blind. Hearing this, everyone was stupid, clear, and bright. What kind of scary thing is this going to do? But these words were in the ears of the great elder. I really saw what it means to be angry. You kid, are you going to challenge me, as an elder of the Tang family? Yes. Although I know that you are old and can't hear clearly. But it's tiring to keep me saying the same thing. This proposal couldn't be better for Tang Wei. If you can defeat this arrogant kid in the Tang family, then his predicament at the moment will be solved. If the head of the house is to take the life of this boy, you can accept it too. That's right. Although Tang Junyue has no bottom in his heart. But before Qingming repeatedly emphasized, do not interfere with his decisions today. He had no choice but to announce. Huashan Shenlong is a friend of my Tang family. And what a friend wants to do. I am the head of the Tang family. Naturally, it will not be blocked. Okay, that's it. Whether it's Qingming or Tang Wei, it can be regarded as what I wanted. I saw Tang Wei's figure. In the blink of an eye, I came to the stage. Sticky boy, I'll let you know how sad it is to not understand what is appropriate. It's just that Tang Wei's words were not finished. I saw Qingming shush and chuckled. Be careful what you say. Otherwise, let's have one more joke to talk about. Hearing this, Tang Wei did close her mouth. At this moment, he just wants to use all his means. Let Qingming experience the taste of life and death. Oops, wait a minute. Great elder, let's add one more condition. No, it's not so much a condition. It's not so much a bet. If it wins, I will fulfill everything you originally wanted. After I left the Tang family. Never get involved here again. And the fool just now wanted to be the head of the young family. I will also get the head of the family to agree. But the conditions on my side also need to change. If I win, come on, don't bother me talking. Rest assured that everything will work out as you wish. If I win, then dissolve the House of Elders. Because you are the instructors of the Tang family master. Nothing worse. It's clear at this moment. No one will ever again doubt that he is not a madman, or the kind of outright lunatic. During the day, it was all so heartbreaking. You wanted to know? This kind of unreasonable provocation. Qingming asked for the consent of the head of the family in advance. But look at Tang Chuanyue's twitching corners of his mouth and eyelids. It's obvious. Even he had just learned about it. Why do I have to happen to this all the time? The so-called Wulin, father and son are related. Couples different. The young and the old are orderly. Monarch and minister have intentions. Friends have letters. And Tang Chuanyue, the head of the Tang family, was incredulous. The teenager on stage. Is it really as he said? Just because of the eccentric temperament. Can you gamble with your life? The book says, friends are the ones who give everything to each other, at any cost. So close to people. Don't worry, I won't watch you die either. Even if it's a war with the entire House of Elders. Meanwhile, during the day, the hidden loyalist could no longer calm down. Could it be that he has eaten too much Sichuan food? Is it spicy to spoil your eyes? Challenging the Taishang elder of the Tang sect to do such a thing. It's crazy no matter how you look at it. The head of the Tang family. Why don't you stop this contest? Obviously, Tang Chuanyue also has some pain at this time. But he had previously agreed. Qingming will not interfere with his decision today. But kids, I fought against Huashan Shenlong. Although his body skills and swordsmanship are amazing. But the real strength of the Tang family is in when the hidden weapon is combined with the poison. If they fight, it should be a situation of unilateral suppression. You must know that the master of the House of Elders is already good at poisoning. If there is no way to deal with a unique tree, within 10 strokes, it will turn into a charred corpse. Of course I've heard about it too. Qing Ling once fought with Wudong elders of Sanzi. And in the end, he walked out of the way. But how can the Void Scatter be compared to the master of Tangwei Academy? If Wudong wants to take the initiative with a hospital, at the very least, we have to let the retired Supreme Elder take action. Here the two. The brain just feels buzzing. Understand, during the day, it was a contest that staked the reputation of 5 people. If we stand in the way, that guy's hard-earned reputation, I'm afraid it will be ruined once. And Qing Ling is not a person who can listen to persuasion. Hearing this, the Tang family master took a closer look. This group of Huashan juniors. In this case, maybe that's what friends are. On the jousting field, looked at Tang Wei, who had been barking wildly. Qing Ling was also a little irritable. Recently got a new computer. The display is just fast. After everyone renewed, what did it do with the old ones? Like me, every time you replace the old notebook phone watch, it will be called to turn around and recycle for free. The price is satisfactory and the money is played on the spot. My MacBook Pro also sold over 5,000. Lying at home, I sold my computer, particularly worry-free. If you want to say that saving chickens is still worth money, hurry up and call the door to recycle. I know that you have already made an agreement with the head of the Tang family. Tang Hua was defeated. You will no longer interfere with the decisions of the head of the household. But all this is based on the fact that you are a person who knows shame. But what you did to poison me before, it seems to indicate that you don't know what shame is. I don't even have to think about it. After that, you'll still make excuses. Try to interfere in the affairs of the Tang family again. After all, it's in you. Eyes. That's all that's left for you. In fact, the intimacy of this life. There never was. Something more clear. Not all of them. It's all going to get older. Become a respectable elder. And these are in order to establish their own authority. It is easy to suppress juniors. People who fight for power. There is absolutely no qualification to be a so-called elder. Because of the real elders. That's not going to happen. Who I am today, it can be understood. How much they love and cherish them. Huashan So. Tangbu. Whether it's you or me. What is left behind? It's just some useless name. I'm lucky. Now there's a chance to make amends. Let's shoot or. You can just say that you're afraid of losing to me. So you can't agree to my conditions. Well, Qingming's mouth, which destroys people's hearts and steals people's hearts. There seems to be no age limit. Case. Then I will do as you wish. I will put you through the worst pain in the world. And then he died. Yu Bai saw Tang Wei's whole body. It exudes a black aura that is visible to the naked eye. At this moment, even in the off-field films, I felt a burning pain on my face. My skin hurts. What is it? Seeing this, Tang Chuanyue shouted. Tang Wei is using her charm. Hers the poison powder that protects the body. It's not fatal though, but only by this hand. If you are defenseless, it's also easy to make others lose their strength. Meanwhile, Tang Wei's poisonous palm had already burst out. It's clear. Such an attack is not likely to hit directly. Qingming is good. If you're easily tricked, that's not interesting. Yu Wanyo's hair needle had already flown out of Tang Wei's cuffs. But that's all there is to it. Qingming still seems to be able to cope with it. It's weird. Tang Wei seemed to tell him, I made a move. Hurry up. Sure enough, at the moment when Qingming was approaching rapidly, the old man was already grinning, suddenly jumped backwards. At the same time, spread your hands. The surroundings were already covered with red strains by him. It's such an attack. Qing Ling didn't even look at it. The phantom sword was already in his hands. Unexpectedly, a poisonous bead split by a sword burst into poisonous smoke in an instant. See this color? Tang Xuanyue still didn't recognize it. This is the Tang family's forbidden Ghost King order. Everyone immediately covered their mouths and noses. Is the owner crazy? He actually broke the taboo in front of everyone and used this trick. But now it looks, no one seemed to be able to stop him. Even if the Tang family fell for this trick. I'm gonna die too. Hey, why all the fuss? I should have done this a long time ago. Now I want to take power in the name of it. I'm afraid it can't be done. Case. It can only be used by force. It's really strange that I put too much emphasis on fame and decency in the first place. If you had used your strength to deter these people earlier, I don't think there will be any such troubles now. Kid, you're so arrogant. The Tang family is the sect of poison. You've only seen the hidden weapon. That's too much to underestimate the Tang family. Come on, Ghost King order, plus these 7 steps to chase the soul and kill. These are highly toxic things that have no antidote. No matter how powerful you are, it's such dust and smoke. It is also impossible to avoid all poisons. You martial arts decent. Always look down on my Tang family. But I am just relying on our Tang family. Just show mercy to your men. Only our Tang family is still sticking to principles. When you do it with someone who is also decent, there will be no antidote to poison. If we start poisoning, then the martial arts supreme will only be our Tang family. Do you understand? I'll give you one last gift. Rejoice, smoke, and poison is also a poison without a solution, driven mad by pain. I'd love to see you. It was a twisted madness that seemed to be full of joy. In the last moments before you die, feel the pain of purgatory. Bitter, that's all. The mind is completely encased in the realm of poison. See this? Tang Xuanyue's heart had already risen to his throat. It's too late, even if I rush to Huashan Shenlong now. I'm afraid there is no way out. Tang Wei, you are not qualified to be honored as the head of the House of Elders. Be a decent person. I can even turn my back on the bottom line. The Tang family will be completely dragged into the abyss by you. Do you understand? Hearing this, Tang Wei only felt funny. Wake up, master. Just because you're like this, the Tang family will not be able to win the world for a long time. You see, as long as we make up our minds, you can rely on Tang family's poison and secret weapon at any time. Dominant the martial arts. But now the Tang family. Turtle cowering in Sichuan. Self-righteous hegemon. What a captivating city. Don't laugh off my big teeth. Blood wash them. It doesn't take a day's work from my Tang family. But it's all because of you. Our Tang family will be affected by these unpopular sects. Surrounded by regiments. Endure it like a fool. Such a Tang family. Is that what you want it to be? What about being a public enemy? We just need to rule the entire martial arts. Ridiculously. You even want to form an alliance with Huashan and alike. How much do you underestimate the Tang family? That's what happened. The head of the house. You have to be clear about one thing. We the elders retreated. It's not because it's weak. At this point, Tang Xuanyue's heart has become more and more messy. I understand that Tang Wei's words are nonsense at all. But if you do it to him now, is the consequences really something I can bear? At all costs. He is the elder of the Tang family. Throughout the Tang Gate, there are still many people who listen to him. In this situation, I did it to him in front of everybody. Is it really possible? If you don't know it, it will be an excuse for the other person to have a seizure. Damn, I should have stopped them in the first place. It's all my fault that I gave it to him and said it in front of everyone. So many opportunities. It's no wonder I didn't even notice it. His ambition is so hidden. Everything is my fault. Tang Kun thought more and more. My thoughts grew deeper. He knew that the only way to do it was at this moment. But Tang Wei didn't seem to pay attention to what he meant. The centipede was like an obedient sheep in his hands. Lingering, go. Let's take a good look at the head of the house. The Huashan Shenlong you believe in. How did it go to disillusion it? Ending with B. A highly toxic realm that was originally shrouded in the stage disappeared in an instant. But the originally embarrassing stands are now full of noise. Even Tang Xuanyue is a bit upright. What the hell is going on? However, Tang Wei, the most terrifying sea rat at the moment, after the forbidden technique that he fed by his own hands, But the opponent did not turn into a pool of blood. Not even the body is missing. It just looks like it's hard to seam. I saw the boy vomit violently. It's amazing. The poison that had been wrapped around his body. It is even visible to the naked eye. But Shushi even stood up. Mommy can make me look like this. It's really worthy of Sichuan cuisine. Well, this will be daylight. There is also Xiaojia in the movie. Where is the slightest panic before? Actually, it's no wonder. And not only them. Everyone, it seems. It's as if they've seen some kind of monster. Also called Tang Chunyue. At this moment, there seems to be another layer of interpretation of Sichuan cuisine. How can it be? How could you not be poisoned? Even if it is a top master with deep internal strength. It's just that it can suppress the toxicity for a while. But how could this kid have such skills? Oops, it's a little sticky. But you really dared to say it. There are just a few points that I need to state about. The reason why the Tang family failed to dominate the martial arts, and not without poison, is because the use of poison itself can't dominate the martial arts. Second, it is not that the Tang family agrees, formed an alliance with Huashan. Instead, Huashan accepted the Tang family's request for alliance. This is important. Please be clear. For the third, and the last point, the head of the Tang family had an insight into the form of the Tang family early on. I want to join forces with Huashan, and you're the one who can't see clearly. I don't know if you understand this look or not. You shouldn't be able to understand what I say anyway. Then you think of me as having special physique. You won't be poisoned. Okay, so let's move on. What poison do you have? Just try it. It turned out to be hundreds of years ago. The Tang family is as famous as the Nangong family and the Peng family. But the remaining 2 families of 5 people. There is no shortage of masters who appear to be the first in the world. Only the Tang family has never had one. Tang Bu actually saw this very clearly. So-called success is also Xiaohe defeat, Xiaohe. It seems that the Tang family only needs to throw out a few poisons. Everybody will fall. But here's the crux of the problem. Below a certain level, poison is indeed invincible. But it's too easy. Imagine, who else would want to practice the secret weapon technique desperately? So, it only makes people complacent. The strength naturally stood still. But if you meet a big brother like a Taoist, a master like you, in the end, the head had to fall to the ground. But I'm going to talk to those idiots. They won't understand either. If poison alone can dominate the world, then the Tang family will not hide from the heavenly demons. Let's flee in all directions. The so-called poison without an antidote. That just means that there is no cure. It's not that it can't be solved. In this world, ways to fight poisons. There are 2 kinds of things that I know. One of them is to use internal force to isolate the body from the outside world. Do not inhale toxic gases. Do not allow toxic gases to come into contact with the skin. Naturally, it will not be poisoned. But this method does not hide from the poison on the hidden weapon. At this time, another method can be used. Try to use internal forces to cleanse the body of poisons that have invaded the body. In this kind of thing, a master who needs to have the pinnacle of control over Qi to be able to do it. So the so-called antidote. It's just for people with average martial arts. It is used to neutralize toxicity in body. But for someone who can fight the poison itself, the antidote would be meaningless. This is why the Tang family has poison arts. It is even more difficult to appear the first in the world. Once Tang Bu understood this early, all over the world, after countless life and death duels. That's when I chose to put everything on my own, pour into the hidden weapon. This gave birth to a dark venerable in the world. As for the poison you gave me before, do you think I'll not be able to guess? People like you, I didn't have to think about it. I knew there would be such a song. If you don't believe it, there's an option to do it all over again. Hearing this, Tang Wei didn't understand the reason yet. But with his temperament, it is absolutely impossible to believe that the current situation is true. However, he threw the poison again. But he really had to believe it. Huashan Shenlong seems to take poison as a vegetable. Do it, shoo it. It doesn't seem to taste good this time. Spit it out again. It's useless to say everything. You don't understand. Obviously, Tang Wei would not understand. Qing Ming is still a long way from the top. But he has the purest aura of Taoism in his body. It is also because of the previous life. He saw the limits of ordinary internal forces. This is only after repracticing Qi. I chose to condense the purest Qi in the world. Actually, he was still thinking that if he couldn't bear it, just eat the other mixed yuan pill. But his luck is the power of evolution. Even he seemed to be a little unexpected. I tried to think about it. In order to gather this massive Qi, I've had a lot of hard work. At the very least, there must be such an effect. Okay, what are you going to do now? The master heard this. Tang Wei saw hope instead. You don't seem to have figured out your situation yet. Let's take a look at your own hands first. What a special physique. Laughing to death. Wait until you go to Hades. It's just that Tang Wei's words were not finished. A flame had already appeared on Qingming's hand. Should it be said or not? As an elder of the Tang family, Tang Wei still has some insight. Qingming this hand. It is clearly the legendary true fire of samadhi. That's the ultimate master who only perfectly controls the internal force, to be able to use out the flames. How did you get here? The soul is already a little tired. The frog at the bottom of the well. Before his death, he wanted to break the Tang family's complacency. Indulge in your own martial arts. Revel in the name of the overlord of Sichuan. How can you become a hegemon in a world? I didn't expect it to be 100 years later. See me using the true fire of samadhi. It was so shocking. There are really a lot of old stubbornness in the high level of the Tang family. Don't worry, I'll help you change that. Even if it comes at the cost of smashing their heads. I saw the young man coming with a sword. Tang Wei was completely confused, while shouting that you don't come, while dissipating all the poison on his body. At this moment, all he had on his mind was to bombard limes. Nothing else? It's just obvious. He had a weak hand. I don't know if I laughed at the lime, but everyone around the stands absolutely will be completely involved in it. Fortunately, Qing Ling also saw this. I have to say that he's an absolute master of the Phantom Sword. This will have control over every poison. No one else can do it. It's just a blink of an eye. Tang Wei's poison was exhausted. All of them were gathered together by the pure spirit. Finally, the internal force is forced. I controlled the scope of the explosion in the palm of my hand. So, the stage was destroyed though. But originally almost. The poison that swept the audience was also controlled by Qingming. Seeing this, Tang Wei's heart was already gone. In fact, he doesn't think of himself as someone who will never lose. But the poison of the Tang family has always been his spiritual pillar. It took a lifetime to practice the poisonous skills, and the position of the supreme elder obtained by his resourcefulness. This moment, it seems that they have all been crushed by the young man in front of them. So until now, even if it's a secret weapon he doesn't know best, but any means that can be used to attack, he won't let go. But at this moment, it's actually late. Qing Ling felt it very clearly. Tang Wei's throwing knife. It is far from the wonderful power of Tang Chunyue. It's obviously old, but it's not old at all. Even in front of the Tang Gate, a unique secret weapon that symbolizes the Elder Taishan. It also looks like brand new. I remember the Caramon front used by that guy in the Tang department. Always dilapidated. It shows that he has been in this hidden weapon since he got it. He never practiced the secret weapon technique again. Clearly, they all have supreme status in the Tang family. But how could the two of them be so bad? If standing across from me is Tang Bu, think about the kung fu of a three-legged cat like me. I can't even carry 3 moves. That's ridiculous. He also said that he was an elder. It really makes me angry. Don Bu, that guy, is disgusted. The reason for entrusting the Tang family to me. I just don't want to see the scene now. If your brain can't understand, then let me beat your body until I remember it. Knowing that the dead are silent. The dead cannot be resurrected. I know that too. What you're saying is just my imagination. It's just me who should have died a long time ago. The obsession of being alone in this world. I can't help but reminisce. So complain about it. Where do you want to start? Seeing clarity, like a demon god who is invincible to all poisons. Tang Wei was completely scared. I don't know where he came from. Countless poisons were pulled out. Oddly enough, this time, it doesn't seem that the target of his attack is Qingming. Followed by, Tang Wei's secret weapon is like an inexhaustible source. All of them pierce through the various poison sacs in midair with precision. Suddenly quench poison hidden weapons and full of poison. Shrouded half of the Tang family. Seeing this, the disciples of the Tang family still don't understand. This is the Tang family stunt. Run, elder crazy. This trick can't protect us under the eaves. At this moment, I feel chaos. It is in stark contrast to the teenager standing on the stage. Look at the hidden weapons and poisons that have been sprinkled across the area. Qingming was silent. You call it a rain of flowers. I know the Tang family today. Rain and invisible poison is also known as the 2 secrets of Tang family. But at Tang Wei's level, it is impossible to perform such a move. And I remember that in the past Tang Bu was in front of me. Performed the unfinished version of the rain in the sky. The trick was as beautiful as a dream. As the name suggests, it was a stunt that covered the world like a rain of flowers. The Tang family took a good look at it. Although I'm just imitating, but now in this world, someone who can imitate this trick. I'm afraid I'm the only one. This is your ancestor Tang Bu who spanned 100 years. An experience and gift for future generations. That's it. Qingming used his plum blossom petals to replace the rain of flowers in the sky. Some float lightly. Some fell suddenly. Others even stopped in midair. Fluttering. Such a wonderful plot. It definitely takes a good device to watch. Recent. I found that the second-hand phones on the turn are quite cost-effective. My Apple 14 Pro Max only costs $4,400. It's more than 2,000 cheaper than new. And I've done your research. The mobile phone that have been transferred to the official inspection have undergone multiple rounds of quality inspection. The new machine one. It comes with a 1-year warranty. The Apple Watch on it is also only more than 900. Really recommend. Buy reliable. Secondhand on it. Swirling plum blossom petals. It's obviously a lifetime of learning. At this moment, there is a sense of freedom to hover. In this charm from nature. It's not someone like you who doesn't know the truth. It can be understood. Qingling's figure was also covered with rain in the sky. An afterimage was formed in the air. At this point, Tang Wei's heart was already radically broken. Once again, I was stunned by this scene. Although the elements are transformed, it can be in the center of the sword. He suddenly noticed. Qingling used the language of flowers. How is this possible? However, he didn't wait for Tang Wei to react. The voice of the Qingling behind him came like a ghost again. 24 plum blossom swordsmanship. Plum blossoms all over the sky. Suddenly, the plum blossom rain seemed to have found form of giant elephant. Centered on Tang Wei. A crazy fall came, although it has changed its form. But Qingling can do it. It only relies on these 24 plum blossom swordsmanship to do mimicry. It's obvious about that. Tang Wei may not understand it in her life. Qingling was already in his eyes. Left an indelible imprint. That's fear, no matter how Tang Wei resisted. Eventually, he'll find out in horror. It's just plum blossoms. The doppelganger lost his square inch. In this rain of plum blossoms, it will never be possible to find true clarity until this man shows his flaws, or outright despair. Obviously, Tang Wei was exhausted. It turned out that he was there. So what the hell was I doing? What is this cheap trick? I know, it must have been a dream. How could there be such a move? That's it. Plum blossom petals are in everyone's eyes in horror or horror. Gradually dissipated. That's it. No matter who it is. In fact, I understand it very well. This contest was a complete victory for Huashan Shenlong, and the hideous but mysterious sword marks of the ring match. It was the last gift left by Qingming for the Tang family. Tell me what the hell this is. In fact, Tang Wei is very clear. Today he is gone. Huashan's swordsmanship shattered his previous arrogance. As for him, or anyone else, can you see the swordsmanship you show? It contains the essence of the Tang family's reign. I don't know. After all, that's all Qingming can do. Then next, it's also the turn of the head of the Tang family to deal with it. How should the Tang family go in the future? It's all up to his will. Seeing Qingling looking at himself, Tang Shunyue also seemed to come back to his senses. This joust is the Huashan faction that Huashan Shenlong Qingling Xiaoxiao wins. In this life, Tang Shunyue's announcement was not loud. After all, under this clear sky, the Tang family will have a lot of embarrassment. But at the same time, they also understand. This moment, it also reveals that the Tang family will usher in new changes. Is that okay? Tang Bu, I know you can't hear you at all. The dead do not speak. The dead cannot be resurrected. Just thinking about Xiaojia's call. This brought Qingming back. Yes, there's a lot more I have to do. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. I still take care of the Tang family occasionally, although no. Oh, I haven't seen it. You explore the hills. How to touch. Blossom Swamp Hey Girl. The fate of the previous life is over. Nambu, I fulfilled the promise that I had not been able to keep in my previous life. So you can go with peace of mind. Goodbye to my only best friend. Play silly and clean up your mood. Qingming planned to return to everyone. It's that no one has come close yet. Yin Zhong felt a burning pain in his skin. Isn't the strange poison already dispersed? Wait! Qingling, you stand still. You're covered in poison all over your body. Did you come here now to kill us? Hearing this, Qingling seemed to react. It seemed that this is really the case, until Tang Shunyue put that bucket of antidote. After splashing it all on Qingling, only then did a few people breathe a sigh of relief. Mom, aren't you the head of the Tang family? Why are you afraid of something? You said let me quarantine for a week first. Wouldn't it be nice to just burn the poison if you pressed it? It's really costing me so much internal effort. You can handle the rest yourself. Hear this. Only then did Tang Shunyue move his gaze back to the stage. Tang Wei, the owner of the Tang family home for the elderly. You listen, everybody listens, and everyone listens. Sinna, Tang Wei, you know what a mistake you have made. It is obvious that Tang Wei lost the competition, but he never thought of it. The head of the house will compare this to sin. And didn't the head of the family also lose to this kid before? See here. Tang Shunyue's eyes gradually turned cold. Drag people up? See how the crowd reacts. Everyone seems to be familiar with it. In order to make him explain clearly, Yuan Xiao, the head of the family, also deliberately held his neck with internal force. Tang said, "As long as you confess all the crimes, I'll spare you a dog's life." Seeing this, Tang Wei was really scared. I wanted to quickly gag him. Instead, Tang chose to compromise first. It's all over for the master. Now no one will continue to listen to you. That's it. Who else can you protect? The head of the Tang family was instructed. I played 1,000 days in the wine and food of Huashan Shenlong. And that person, it is the master of Tang Wei Academy. In order to fulfill the promise of the previous life, Qingming prepared a generous gift to the head of the Tang family. That is, after completing the bet with the House of Elders. He wants to completely uproot the deep-rooted tumor of the Tang family, knowing that your food is poisonous. But look, a boy, no leaves are left. Clean up, that's the move. It became the last straw that crushed the elder's house. After Tang was arrested, confessed the sins of the great elder. So Tang Wei, do you have any excuses? Hear this. This Tang family elder understands. It's all over. Because of the exposure of this matter, the entire Senate will disappear. And Tang Xuanyue will definitely not miss such an opportunity. Everything I do, it's really all for the Tang family. Speaking of this, where's Tang Wei still the former Taishan elder? The Supreme Majesty. But he was confused. The Tang sect is one of the 4 great families. Martial arts righteousness. If it's just a contest with poison on the stage, at best, it will only be criticized. But before the competition, it is 1,000 days to take this poison. The nature is completely different. It really dirties my ears. The clansmen listened. Tang Wei committed a felony. From this day on, he was deposed as head of the Senate. Wait until the investigation is over. The Senate is closed. All elders are not allowed to leave their dwellings. It's obvious. Tang Xuanyue, the prestige of the head of the family at the Tang family. It has reached unprecedented heights. Huashan, Shenlong Qingming Xiaoxia. Thanks to you and me. Only then did they have the opportunity to understand and correct the hidden conspiracy of the Tang family. So I am the head of the Tang family. Formally to you and your fellow doors, and the Huashan faction to express their heartfelt gratitude. Know if it weren't for their arrival, what a terrible hidden danger the Tang sect will have in the future. These Tang sect disciples are still clear. To say the most excited in the heart. It takes time. The Huashan faction has been. The expulsion of the 9 factions was bullied. To this day, the Tang family has recognized Qingming. It only took a few years. Seeing that this kid was still stunned during the day. You should respond to this kind of scene, right? Yubai came back to his senses during the day. This great gift from them. It will be for a long time to come. It became the link between the Tang family and Huashan. Such a wonderful plot. It definitely takes a good device to watch. I found that the second-hand phones on the tour were quite cost-effective. I bought this Apple 14 Pro Max on Zhuan. Only 4,400. It's 2,000 cheaper than new. And I've done your research. Mobile phones that have been transferred to the official inspection have undergone multiple round quality inspection. It's like a new machine. It comes with a 1-year warranty. The Canon 7 Spirit or above is also only more than 1,800. Really recommend. Buy a reliable second-hand and go around. Sticky boy, you're a girl. You may not be afraid of poison, but we really thought you were going to die. Although you can't beat Qingming. But he's not like Xiaojie and in the movie. It's time to bang. This uncle is not ambiguous at all. See what it looks like during the day. Qingming is rare and has a little weakness. I'll pay attention when I know that. It's hard to imagine that I ever provoked such a person. It's a blessing that I don't have a family. I'm Sai. But it was a cold discovery. The state of the eldest sister seems to be a little strange. In Tang Xiaoxiao's eyes at this moment, there has long been only Lu Yixue's stinginess. Genre, I've decided. Sure, that's it. The turmoil of the Tang family was completely resolved in a short period of time. Obviously, Tang Kun was really relaxed. As for the original young family master Tangba, the meaning of Qingming is very generous. That kid can do that. In fact, it essentially shows that he is very bold. And people, it's all about growing from mistakes. Tang family master, you know why Tang will Wei become what he is now. He never left the Tang family. No adversity has been experienced. Naturally, we will not know the vastness of this world. So, he was only right. He was robbed of the position of young head of the family a long time ago. In other words, if it was just because of Tang Ba's mistake, it took everything from him. No one will grow. I think back to how much the head brother has suffered because of me. What if it's just because I'm too bad in character? The senior brother in charge hates my words. Not to mention Plum Blossom, Sword Venerable. I may not even be able to achieve what I am doing now. The most critical thing is, Tangba, Diski, already owes me a big one. If he becomes the head of the house, that's a good thing for me. Therefore, Tang Xuanyue planned. Give Tang's father a chance to compete fairly with the young head of the family. Furthermore, Qingming, I have another important thing to tell you. That little him, He said he wanted to worship Hua Shan. San forged an alliance with the Tang Gate. The head of the Tang family, also successfully removed from the House of Elders, took back all the rights. It's a pity. Even now he can do what he can do. But there are still too many traditions. It can't be changed overnight. But he was also a father. He understands in a year or two. Xiao Xiao will marry the powerful gate valve because of the family rules. I was very weak and wanted to struggle. So, this is the usually calm and shrewd head of the Tang family. Reluctantly entrusted his daughter to Hua Shan. But that's sticky. Where do you dare to collect it in Xingming? And this kind of thing was heard by the head in time. I'm afraid I'm also worried about the dignity of the little one. I can't accommodate this big Buddha at all. Hearing this, Tang Xunyue was already reluctant, or became a lobbyist. Do you know, several internal methods to purify the body, as well as some secret weapons and light skills. There are also most of the medical skills that have been passed down from generation to generation in the family. These little ones have been learned. In his medical attainments, even the master of the medicine hall, they all hope to pass on the medicine hall to him. All right, this really goes to the heart of Qingming. That's the Tang family's medical skills. Do you know the head of the Tang family? All the time, my wishes is to have a little such a junior sister. So don't worry. I will take good care of her. Tang Xunyue was also convinced. Such a sincere and suspicious expression. How Qingming did it. In this way, Tang Xunyue is a few people in Huashan. A caravan to Yunnan tomorrow was arranged. As for the tiny, he will personally send it to Huashan to meet the head of the house. To say that Tang Xunyue is indeed concerned about Huashan Shenlong. On the surface, it looks so greedy, but judging by the results, he has helped the Tang family too much. Maybe chivalrous courage is to describe him. The fart is obvious. Qingming is not happy. Tang Xunyue just paid lip service to writing, but he's already going to have a lot of good things to go. What more could you want now? No, you know, the poison of the Tang family must not be leaked. But I really can't stand the soft grinding and hard bubble of Qingming. And this requirement is now not constrained by the House of Elders. It doesn't seem to be unsatisfying. I have one condition. I want to watch it again. The swordsmanship be performed on the jousting table at the time. Sure enough, Tang Xunyue also saw the clue. Maybe that's the legacy. Such a wonderful plot. It definitely takes a good device to watch. Recently, I found that the second-hand phones on the tour were quite cost-effective. I bought this Apple 14 Pro Max on Zhongnan. Only 4,400. It's 2,000 cheaper than new. And I've done your research. Mobile phones that have been transferred to the official inspection have undergone multiple round quality inspection. It's the same as new, backed by a 1-year warranty. The above Rescuer 27,000 is also only 2,400. It is recommended to buy a reliable second-hand on a turn, even if the person has disappeared. But the younger generations will still be wise. Yes, this is the sect. Actually, if I eat enough Sichuan food, this is a particularly physically demanding job. It's not that I can't say yes. Hearing this, Tang Xunyue breathed a sigh of relief. Soon Xiaojia also returned to the Four Seas Chamber of Commerce. He brought back the news. Zhaotuan Master was still a little difficult to digest. The Tang family is a family that cares a lot about their reputation. So because of the losses they caused by the Chamber of Commerce, the Tang family will definitely compensate. But what will the head of the house come to the door to apologize? This is still too unbelievable in Sichuan. However, take this opportunity. Xiaojia finally said what he thought. I love Huashan. Here's the way I want to go. So, father, I'm sorry, since people only live one life. I really want to live as a disciple of Huashan. Obviously, the Zhaotuan master also saw his son's decision. He understood. My dreams are passed on to my ancestors. The Four Seas Chamber of Commerce can also be passed on to their brothers. But this dream is not Xiaojia's dream after all. When the Qingling Taoist said that the decision was up to you, I really think his words are arrogant. Now, I should be able to understand why he said that. As a father, I can't decide your life. So kids, come on, that's it. A family affair, and the past marriages are all settled. Although it dragged on for a long time, but I still found a comfortable one. How to enter Yunnan, and Qingming didn't expect it. I was able to get so many good things on this trip. The will of the companions to walk side by side will not disappear. From parents to children, from a teacher to a disciple. People who know the way and people who are looking for it. Don't hesitate. Don't be nostalgic. Let's move on to the next goal. This is the finale of second season of Jinduan. In order to make Qingming smoothly enter Yunnan, the Tang family arranged for the Huashan faction to accompany the peace merchant group, and Tang Xiaoxiao, Tang Xunyue. I also plan to take him there myself. Huashan Qingling has some headaches. But Xiaoxiao was very happy. Don't do that. We're about to be allies in a pot of food. I'm going to need a lot of advice in the future. Seeing this, Tang Xunyue reminded. Xiaoxiao, this time I apprentice to Huashan. You should be the youngest old demon. So now the people in front of you are all elders. If you really want to become a disciple of Huashan, don't forget your identity as the daughter of the Tang family. Think clearly. You are here to become a disciple of Huashan. Isn't it for a long time? Xiao Xiao suddenly made a policy. Dear uncles and brothers, please have a safe journey. Xiao Xiao will learn the precepts in Huashan, waiting for the return of the uncles. Well, Qing Ming is to see clearly. Tang Xunyue deliberately reprimanded this girl in public, so as not to affect his status in Huashan in the future. Sure enough, it's an old fox. It's also a daughter slave. Well, thank you for your great hospitality. The head of the Tang family wishes you good health. Just like this, Xiao Xiao looked at Aunt Lu, who was far away at this moment. The eyes are full of stars. It was he who allowed himself to see a different path. I wish I could be as handsome as he is. It's just that Xiao Xiao doesn't know what is. There's finally a girl among the 3 generations of disciples of Qing and Jin dynasties. During the day, I was worried about whether I would give the Tang family's daughter preferential treatment. But Lu Yixue has obviously been messing with Qing Ling for too long. Rest assured, as long as you're a disciple of Huashan, everyone is equal. If you rely on your own identity to be presumptuous. Before Qing Ling made a move, I'll smash his head first. Apparently the little woman did not hear these words. Let's go, father. Let's go see the others in Huashan. What the hell is it like? At this moment, the Qingming people have already left. This Tang family master also rarely shows his face from the heart. Bon voyage. Friend for a long time. In order for them to enter Yunnan smoothly, the peace merchant group specially prepared plain clothes for several people. Along the way, Qingming was already impatient. But at the same time, with the help of the merchant group, they also have a better understanding of the situation in Yunnan. Recently got a new computer. Cutting videos is fast. What do you do with the old ones that everyone buys new? My Map Pro was turned around and recycled. More than 4,600 at a fair price. Playing money is fast and crisp. Just new. Now it's time to turn around and stop it. It also supports the recycling of hundreds of categories. My brother's host graphics cards are all sold on it. All the old ones are still valuable. Just look for it and recycle it. That place was almost completely controlled by the Beastmen. Even if it's a government. It is also only nominal jurisdiction. It is also because the land of Yunnan in this era is very barren. Ultimately unlucky. Or these merchants who do the tea business. In case of an accident on this trip, I'm afraid that the peace merchant group will no longer be able to enter and leave Yunnan. And the rest of them. There is only one dead end. This feeling. The beast attacked in Yunnan. It seems to be more influential than the Tang family in Sichuan. But it's also right to think about it. There are still some sects in Sichuan that can contain the Tang family. But Yunnan is different. And the merchant group is obviously following the official road. But the government did not rest. It can well be imagined. The 10 days it takes for a carriage to travel will multiply exponentially. If not profitable, I don't think any merchant group wants to do such a deal. Not to mention the border between Sichuan and Yunnan. But the bandits' lawless place. Hearing this, Qingling only felt that his brain was about to crack. It's not a journey that can be reached in 3 months. If it takes a whole year to go back and forth, is the old man still alive? That's it. Qingling and his entourage had already arrived at the border of Sichuan. The caravan was well guarded. But he had also become more and more cautious. The sun hasn't set yet. It was decided to camp on the spot. Obviously, where can Qingming stand such an ink? I don't know if it's lucky or unlucky. Just arrived at the border. Shang has a change in surroundings. Hey, I'm saying you're really good at choosing places. I don't know if this is the territory of my Zhanhu cottage. Oops, I know you. Lightning Quick Swordsy McGuay is a somewhat famous guy. But in the eyes of our Zhanhu cottage, they are still ants. The man said to himself. But it was not. The old minister's exclamation interrupted. It's great to finally see the bandits. Wrong. Maybe a horse thief. It doesn't matter if you forget it. You're robbers anyway. Right, I've been waiting for you for a long time. In order to send us to Yunnan as soon as possible. We brought so many horses. I'm really lucky.